Sizzling excitement.
Torah lesson.
Incredible adventure.
Fun and laughter.
The Taryag Kids and the Underwater Adventure, based on the ArtScroll comic written by Ayala Brenner and illustrated by Hannah Schneider. Let's meet and greet the Taryag Kids. Tanchum, Reuven, Yisrael, Gadi. Together they spell Taryag. Tanchum is most definitely the leader of the Taryag Kids. He's a quick learner and a sharp thinker with a well-developed sense of responsibility. Someone you could rely on.
Gadi, you bring the mishnayos. Yisrael, you're in charge of the nash. Reuven, bring whatever you think we'll need for the trip.
Reuven is the team's scientist. With his great brain and golden hands, he's a natural inventor, discovering all kinds of new things in the lab he built in Taryag's clubhouse.
But forget about the past, Taryag. Let's think about right now. We're going to run a field test of my new invention.
Yisrael has a big heart and a big appetite. He's got non-stop energy and a permanent smile on his face. He's always looking for adventure, mysteries, and heart-stopping excitement and thrills.
Sir Reuven, I'm happy to announce that there's a good chance I'll be an inventor. All you need to do is copy others, and I'm an expert in that.
Gadi is Taryag's resident Talmid Chacham, who can find a Torah vort for every occasion and event. He sometimes gets a little frightened, and he would gladly skip Taryag's scariest missions and adventures. But somehow, he always finds the courage when he needs it.
I once read that sonar was developed to try and find icebergs in the water after the Titanic sank because it crashed into an iceberg.
Here are some more people and things you'll meet in the Taryag Kids' adventures. Dina and Rina are Reuven's twin sisters. They are in second grade, and though they look alike, they have very different personalities. Dina is lively and funny, and Rina is quiet and studious.
What are you, a heart doctor?
Mr. Gagangin is a driver who starts all his trips with the words, "Let's go, Gagangin." Gagangin means, "we're off," in Yiddish. He drives the Taryag Kids in his beaten-up old van from one adventure to another.
Nothing to be sorry about. I love driving. It doesn't matter what time or what day.
Savta Azulai is everyone's favorite grandma. She worries about the boys and makes sure they've got great nosh to take along with them. And she makes the best cookies ever.
2 miracles? Why didn't you tell me? I would have prepared twice as much food.
The clubhouse is Taryag's secret meeting place, hidden deep in the valley forest. The boys like to meet in the clubhouse every afternoon. Adventures start here. Reuven's lab is in a corner of the clubhouse. Here is where Reuven creates inventions that can change the face of the earth. It's a messy place where Reuven takes apart electrical devices and appliances and rebuilds them into some very interesting gadgets. And of course, let's not forget about Fishy, the small, feisty goldfish who's stuck in a small container. Felix, Fishy's owner, doesn't seem to want to let him go.
I just can't hurt fish.
But all Fishy wants to do is return to the sea.
Yes! I've been waiting far too long!
Monday, 10 a.m. at the San Diego, California Naval Base.
Soldiers,
Yes, sir.
you've been chosen for a top secret mission. You will be training marine mammals for military use. Everything you see today is classified and must not fall into enemy hands. You'll be learning the secrets from a world-renowned dolphin trainer, a soldier who's moved up very quickly in the ranks.
Training sea mammals? What does that mean?
I'm really curious, though. Here he is, Commander David Rabinovich.
Sir, it's a pleasure to be here.
Men cannot tell you in confidence that the commander recently returned from joint military exercises with our Israeli allies with amazing results.
Sir, with your permission, please skip the compliments and let's get started. Men, listen up. In our first exercise, we'll be teaching a dolphin to identify and rescue a diver in distress.
If the Israelis invited him to the exercises, he must be the world's #1 expert.
Wow, sounds fascinating. Look how focused he is. Dolphins, let's show these soldiers what you can do.
Wow! He jumped out of the water. It looks like he's waiting for instructions. Amazing! The dolphin heard the whistle and jumped out right away.
Hi, Bobby. Time to meet my soldiers.
What a cute dolphin. Look how much he trusts Commander Rabinovich.
Commander, how did you do that?
Good question, soldier. Here's the answer. Every trained dolphin has its own individual whistle. When Bobby heard his whistle, he knew he should come out to meet me. I will ask him to jump back into the pool and find the drowning soldier doll. But first, I need to reward Bobby with a fish because he listened to instructions.
But Commander, how will Bobby locate the drowning doll? It has no smell.
Soldiers, dolphins don't use their sense of smell to identify objects. They use something called a natural sonar that God gave them. I trained Bobby for months, and now he can identify almost any object that doesn't belong in the sea. Oh, who's that? I can't believe it. What are they doing here? How did they get into the naval base? I have to stop the training session, now! They must not learn these military secrets. Soldiers, I'm very sorry, but this session is over.
What happened? What? Why?
David, why did you stop in the middle of the training session?
Why did I stop? The real question is, why did you allow such a terrible breach of security?
What are you talking about? What security breach?
Sir, you know the information I'm teaching here is classified. So why are Robert Parker and Felix, his personal assistant, here?
Looks like David identified me. It's really upsetting him.
He's a junior officer with no connection to this project. Who authorized him to be here?
I don't know, but I can find out. This is the commanding officer of the San Diego Naval Base. Is Robert Parker authorized to take part in the training course?
Yes, sir. You received the authorization a few days ago.
David, it seems Parker and his assistant can attend your training course.
I don't know what to say, sir. I'm very suspicious of this Robert Parker. I don't trust him at all.
Why don't you trust him? Do you know him?
Yes, sir. I know Robert from when we were both very young. When he was young, he was part of a street gang. He would do the most horrible things, especially to Jews like me, so long as he got paid for it.
David, it's been decades since you were young. Robert has grown up and changed, and he is serving this country. Just because he was a mischievous kid is no reason to disqualify him. David, cut the drama and go ahead with the course.
Yes, sir, but listen to me. We may pay a high price for this decision.
5 minutes later.
Now pay attention. The minute the dolphin hears the whistle that tells him to check the pool, he'll find the doll and get him out of the water, just like an underwater search and rescue professional.
He rescued the drowning soldier. Bravo! Hooray for the dolphin!
So you've seen the trained dolphin at work. I've got to go now.
We're finished? It was such a short demonstration. I thought we learned how to train dolphins. Can't you show us a little more?
David didn't give any essential information. The Iranian is not going to be happy.
There, Fishy, my sweet. Did you see the dolphin do a rescue? Maybe you can learn some tricks from him.
No way! Would you want to do tricks with someone who stuck you in a glass jar?
I'm sorry, sir. I must leave. I hope that next time we can finish up what we missed.
It's a shame, but I understand that you've made your decision.
David, stop!
What does he want from me?
How are you doing, David, my friend? At first, I didn't recognize you. You've changed since we were kids together. Want to sit down and share some great childhood memories?
Robert, I don't think this is a good time for a friendly chat.
But I really want to learn how to train dolphins.
Sorry, but I've got to go. Bye, Robert.
A pleasant spring day at the Taryag Kids secret clubhouse in Eretz Yisrael's Valley Woods.
Now I'll attach the cover and my new invention will be ready. Guys, I'm happy to announce the invention of the decade.
The decade?
Reuven, if I had a dime every time you said that in the last 10 years, I would be rich.
Very funny, but this time I'm serious. Presenting the world's most highly developed and effective sonar in the world.
Reuven, what is sonar?
If I knew what sonar was, I'd also be excited. But since I haven't a clue what the word means, I'll save my excitement for another time. Sonar was invented in Britain before the Second World War. It's based on technology that uses sound waves. Sound waves are waves that travel at different speeds from the source of the sound. For example, when you scream, the sound wave travels faster and further than the sound wave that comes out when you whisper.
And what does that have to do with sonar?
Ouch! Yisrael, why are you screaming?
Just checking that my sound waves are working okay.
The way my ears are ringing, it looks like they're working just fine.
Okay, here's how sonar works. It gives off a short sound wave called a ping. When the ping is sent out, it travels until it bumps into something. Then it bounces back to where it started.
You mean that if you send a ping out into the ocean, the sound wave will travel until it hits the bottom of a boat and then it will come back to you?
Exactly, Gadi. And by looking at how long it took for the sound wave to get to that boat and then come back to me, I can know where and how far away the boat is.
I once read that sonar was developed to try and find icebergs in the water after the Titanic sank because it crashed into an iceberg.
Yes, that was the reason sonar was first invented. But it didn't take long for the British Navy to adopt the idea. They hoped that it could find submarines that were hiding underwater.
And did it work? Did they find all the threats hiding under the sea?
Nope. They discovered that even with sonar, it was hard to find submarines. But forget about the past, Taryag. Let's think about right now. We're going to run a field test of my new invention.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say they already invented sonar?
Yup, but my sonar is much more advanced. It can identify living objects, that is, people, rather than just inanimate objects like trees.
But Reuven, how can we test sonar in the forest if it's made to be used in water?
Reuven's sonar machine works on land too. So let's go.
Wait a minute. This test, it's going to take a lot of time, right?
What's the difference?
There's a big difference. I have to know how much nosh I should be taking with me. You know, fresh air gives me a big appetite. So the question is if the snacks in this backpack will be enough for the whole time we're testing this sonar.
Ha! From what I see, the food will be enough for days of testing, not just a quick trip to the forest.
Reuven's right. We can make an entire main party with what you have in that backpack. After the test, of course.
So come on, Yisrael, let's go.
It's unbelievable how everything tastes better in the fresh air. I hope this test of Reuven's takes a really long time, so I can finish off all this great nosh that I brought.
Wow, look how the valley forest is blooming. Hashem created an amazing, gorgeous world, better than any artist can make.
Reuven, while we're getting to the test area, maybe you can explain to me how inventors invent?
Great question, Tanchum. Of course we believe in Hashem, and we know all of our ideas come from Him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives inventors thoughts and ideas. Inventors are His messengers to bring us the invention. And by the way, Taryag, as a young inventor, I could tell you that the best ideas that I have for inventions come from copying nature.
Copying nature? And here I thought that monkeys copy human beings. It never occurred to me that human beings copied animals.
Ha! Yisrael, you have no idea how many inventions are based on the awesome wisdom that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put into His creation. Think about cute dolphins and amazing bats.
Bats? Nobody likes them. They just make a mess and they are plain and scary.
You wouldn't insult bats if you only knew what incredible talents they have.
Are you talking about the fact that bats can't see and yet they know where to fly and how to find food?
Absolutely, Tanchum. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put a natural sonar into bats. When a bat wants to fly from place to place without crashing into a tree, or if it's looking for an insect to eat, it sends out a certain noise from its throat and then waits. These sound waves wander until they bump into something. When that happens, the sound wave returns to the bat and it knows there's something there. And just like bats have natural sonar on land, dolphins have sonar in the water.
Ah, scientists studied bats and dolphins and learned about this amazing talent. Then they had the idea of inventing sonar.
So Reuven, I'm happy to announce that there's a good chance I'll be an inventor. All you need to do is copy others, and I'm an expert in that.
Very funny, Yisrael. If it was so easy to be an inventor, the world would be full of inventions. Now watch, I'm starting the test. I'm sending a ping, a sound wave, from my sonar device.
After 20 tense seconds.
Reuven, are you sure you sent the wave? I don't see anything.
Of course, you won't see or hear the sound wave. Sound waves from the sonar are broadcast on a very high frequency, so human beings can't hear them.
So how will we know if a sound wave hits a person or animal?
If a circle appears on the screen, it means the area is clear. If it shows broken lines, it means there are people around us.
That's disappointing. I thought you were talking about the invention of the decade. All this invention does is find people. With all due respect, Reuven, we've always managed to find people successfully without it.
My sonar doesn't find just anyone, Yisrael. Because of special sensors I've inserted into it, the sound waves can locate people who are behaving suspiciously.
Wow, that sounds like something from the future.
Sonar that finds suspicious people? That could help police officers identify criminals.
I hope that in the future, that's exactly what will happen. As of now, the sonar identifies when someone's pulse is racing and if their hands are trembling. That happens to someone who is very tense and about to commit a crime. The minute the sound wave finds a person who has these symptoms, it will return to the device and the screen will flash red and vibrate.
Like always, Reuven, you're the greatest inventor Taryag ever knew.
Blessed Hashem who shared his wisdom with a person.
Reuven, is it okay for me to use the device?
Sure, just be careful.
Hey, what's going on? It's blinking and it's vibrating.
Guys, look at the sonar.
It looks like a sound wave has identified someone suspicious who's following us.
It's blinking and it's vibrating.
Taryag, quick, hide before the merciless criminal gets us.
After a nerve-wracking 30 seconds.
Taryag, do you see something coming closer?
I don't see anything. Are you sure your invention isn't making a mistake, Reuven?
Shh, quiet. I hear some noise in the bushes.
Oh no, the criminal must be hiding there.
Wait a minute, and I'll try to peek out from this rock. It's clear there's someone there. The question is who, and what is he doing there? I can see a small piece of pink cloth, and a tiny piece of headband. I've solved the mystery. Taryag, please welcome the suspicious criminal, or to be more exact, the two suspicious criminals, with a round of applause.
What?
Who? I don't believe it. It's my identical twin sisters, Dina and Rena.
Hi, Reuven. Hello, Taryag. How are you doing?
Dina and Rena, what are you two doing here? Why are you spying on us?
It's because of you, Reuven. Last night we heard you tell Ima and Abba that you were finishing up your newest invention.
We figured out that you'll go with Taryag to the Valley Forest to test it.
So we decided to follow you to see what kind of invention you made.
But Reuven, how did he know we were here? We hid very well.
It's because of your hearts.
Our hearts? Are you telling us you could hear our heartbeats?
What are you, a heart doctor?
I'm no cardiologist, but big brothers always know what their little sisters are doing. And besides, my sonar saw that your hearts were beating rapidly.
That's because you were nervous since you were hiding from us.
So you're not angry with us?
Angry? Of course not. You helped me out, and I thank you for it.
Because of you, we know that Reuven's sonar works perfectly.
That's great.
Feel free to ask for help anytime you need it.
Monday at noon at the San Diego, California Naval Base.
Felix, I'm angry.
Why are you angry?
Because we didn't succeed in getting military secrets out of David. Oh no, my cell phone is ringing. It's the Iranian. He wants to know my progress with David. What should I tell him?
Maybe tell him,
Quiet, Felix. I wasn't expecting an answer.
Your Felix, are really not useful.
So let me just remind you that the Iranian does not like it when people don't talk to him.
You're right. I've got to answer him. Here goes. Life and death. Hello?
Why did it take you so long to answer me?
It's Felix's fault. His phone has terrible reception.
Why? Excuses are for weaklings.
I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you why it took me time to answer.
And I suggest you answer another question. Did David reveal his professional secrets to you?
Well, not exactly.
Listen and listen carefully, you worthless fool. I am paying you a fortune because you said you know David and you can worm all his secrets of a dolphin training out of him.
I do know him. Years ago, we lived in the same neighborhood, and I met him every day on the way to the grocery.
It's a time to get some real information from you, or I am going to begin to doubt that you can do it, and I will find someone else who can. Understand?
No! Believe me, I'm loyal, and I can do it. I even managed to get authorization to get into the secret naval base.
And what did you find there?
Not much. Just when David said he was going to show us how a dolphin can identify a diver in the deep water, he stopped and left.
Are you saying he unexpectedly cut the lesson short?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. He was looking at the other soldiers, and when he saw me and Felix, he stopped.
Fool! Don't you understand that he suspects you and that that's why he ended the demonstration?
No, absolutely not. I don't think that's the reason.
You're right. You don't think. Look what you have done. Because of you, the plan has gone down the drain. Our mighty Iranian army won't be able to use dolphins against Israeli and American targets hidden under the sea.
Sir, I didn't mean for this to happen.
Too late. There's no other choice. If we can't use dolphins, neither will anyone else in the world.
I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean.
I'll explain slowly and carefully. You have to kill him.
Who? When? Kill who?
You, now, David.
But I'm not sure he suspects me.
I decide what you're sure of and what you're not sure of. And I am sure we have to eliminate him.
I haven't seen Robert so stressed in a long time. Maybe he's allergic to the Iranian.
And I'm sure that I have to get rid of you.
This is not good. The Iranian hung up on me. He's furious.
Why is he so angry? What does he want?
He wants me to kill David.
What?
Gulp! What did he say? This is getting fishier and fishier.
You heard me, and I'm telling you now, we have no choice. If we don't listen to the Iranian, we won't get a single dollar.
How can we get him?
Got it. We'll use the steering wheel method. That will work perfectly.
Steering wheel method? I never heard of it.
You sit in the car and turn the steering wheel until you've created a fatal accident.
You mean we'll make an accident and David will accidentally be killed?
Come on, Felix. I don't have all day. Let's get into the car and chase after David.
Where do you think you're going? I want to stay here with the dolphins. I'm sick of chasing my tail all day.
Fishy, what's the matter with you? Why are you banging against the glass? Be careful, my dear. Don't peel away your pretty gold skin.
Ah, just by chance. Now come with me. We've got to move fast. Let's go. We've got an accident to make today.
It's, kind of stressing me out. I don't like accidents.
You don't have to like accidents. You just have to make them.
Oh, you're going much too fast.
Don't worry, Felix. We just have to make a small, simple accident, and this entire ordeal will be behind us. Hang on tight. We're off.
Let me make this clear. You two heartless creeps. When they question me, I am not going to swallow any water. You have been warned.
What a strange day. I never would have believed I would have to cut the course short, but I'm not sorry about that. Safety first.
There he is. There's David's white car.
Who's honking like that? Hashem, help me! It must be a drunk on the road.
Ah, Felix, I hope you've got your seatbelt on. Get ready. We're about to crash.
Oh no, it's Robert and his assistant. They're coming after me at high speed. They want to crash into me. Hashem, save me!
Perfect. The light turned red. David has to stop.
A golden opportunity. Get him!
Now's our chance, Felix.
What should I do? Robert is behind me and the light is red. Aha! 1 second. I know. I'll try to sneak away from the car.
This is the end of you, Jew!
Ah! If I only had eyelids, ambulance, I would shut them tight! Ouch! Ow! This is too much! Look what your accident has done! And I already have a problem with dandruff!
I jumped out at the last minute. I hope they didn't see me.
We did it, boss! We've neutralized him!
Ha! Good work, Felix. Now let's get out of here before the police get here. The steering wheel method succeeded more than our wildest dreams. David's car is crushed. No way he could have gotten out of there alive. Let's raise a beer glass and make a toast for all that money that the Iranian is going to send us.
L'chaim, my dear friend.
So now that we've gotten rid of David and escaped from the police, we should report to the Iranian that the mission was a total success. Hello, Robert here speaking.
What is it, Robert?
Good news, you can relax. David isn't coming back anymore.
Good. Even very good. I hope you did clean work and didn't leave any evidence that will bring the police after you.
Heaven forbid! David's crushed car was stuck in traffic, and we got away a while ago.
Excellent.
Who cares about excellent? When are you transferring the money to pay for the accident I arranged?
Money? How dare you? Remember, I wanted him alive so I could get critical information out of him. I was depending on you to find out what he had been teaching the Israelis. It is your fault we had to get rid of him.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm always right. And forget about the money until you finish the job.
The job? I thought I'd finished it when I got rid of David.
That was just the first part. Now you got to break into his house, find the important documents. If you find them, well, you know my phone number.
He hung up again. I don't understand why he's always angry and nervous.
I don't understand what happened to our money.
You can forget about the money until we find some of David's top secret documents.
Secret documents? Who cares? I haven't eaten for a week.
The only way to do it is to break into David's house and find the documents that show how he's managed to train those dumb dolphins.
You think we'll also find some papers to show how to swim without drowning?
Maybe I'll find a hotline phone number that helps starving fish.
Baruch Hashem that I managed to get home without anyone following me. If I hadn't jumped out of the car, I would have been crushed by it. This was no accident. Robert wanted to kill me, and it's a miracle I'm still alive. I was right to suspect him. Clearly, he knows I have vital classified information. He wasn't able to get it, so now he wants to eliminate me. I must find out who he is working for, but first, I have to run away. My life is in danger. But where should I run to? Where could I hide from Robert? I know! I'll fly to Eretz Yisrael, the home of all the Jews. I've been meaning to move to Eretz Yisrael, and now is the time. My friends living there will be surprised to see that I've come back. Hey, taxi, stop! Oy vey, the taxi didn't stop. I've got to get away from here as fast as I can. See that tall building there, Felix? That's where David lives. We've got to break the lock on his door and then search for documents.
Break the lock? Why?
To get into his apartment, you fool!
I don't feel like breaking locks. It's hard work. Why not just ask David for the key? No problem.
Because right now, David is dying, trapped underneath a car after his unfortunate accident. That's the first of many reasons why he can't give us the key.
Yes, you're right. But wait a minute. If David is dying under his car, why do I see him walking down the street?
What? I don't believe it. He's come back from the dead.
It's some kind of miracle. We ran him over and here he is, healthy and whole.
Yes! That's the best news I've heard since they invented filtered water!
Finally, a cab stopped for me. Take me to the airport, please. We've got to follow him. Felix, steal a car, quick!
The car's ready. Let's start the chase.
Follow that taxi. I wonder where he's driving.
According to the signs on the side of the road.
Hey, Felix, watch out for those potholes. I feel like I'm surfing the waves.
We're heading to the airport. Get closer so we don't lose him.
David's no fool. He's trying to leave the country.
But we're smarter than he is. We'll follow him to the ends of the earth if we have to. Let's go, Felix. Why are you driving so slow? Step on the gas.
Oh no, I left my passport at home.
I'm really sorry, but I can't.
Why not? Do you want to lose David's taxi?
No, but I also don't want to lose my fishy. He's sensitive. Travel makes him nauseous.
Your driving is so horrible, I think I'm getting seasick.
If we lose David because of your precious fishy, I'll throw him into the nearest swimming pool. Forget about him and focus on driving. In the meantime, I'll update the Iranian that the object is back in the game. This is Robert. I have an important update. David is alive and on his way to the airport.
How can this be? You told me you eliminated him.
That's what I thought too, but I guess I was wrong. Only his car was eliminated. I think he's planning to fly to Israel.
To Israel? How do you know?
That's what Jews do. They're always flying to Israel.
Ha! You're right. Looks like you're in luck, Parker. Fly with David on the same plane, and as soon as he lands in Israel, kidnap him. I'll let you know how to put him into our hands.
No problem. Just one small thing. You want me to fly to a foreign country, far away, and kidnap an American citizen? The price for that is higher than what we agreed upon.
You are so greedy. All you are interested in is money.
I'm not greedy at all. I just feel sorry for Felix's poor goldfish who hasn't eaten anything but water for 2 whole days. The only other food we can offer him is ice cubes.
The Iranian is right. I think the only reason Robert lets Felix keep me is because he thinks I'm really a goldfish made of gold.
You must be an activist for fishes' rights. Listen to me, and listen to me closely, Robert. If you manage to kidnap David, I will pay you twice as much as we agreed upon.
Twice as much? Wow, that's a lot of money.
That's right. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and I hope for your sake that you get the goods.
I will. You can count on me. Goodbye.
"20 minutes later, as they follow the yellow cab.
Robert, there's the passenger terminal. There's David standing by the ticketing counter.
Perfect. As soon as he gets his ticket and leaves the counter, we'll follow him and ask the ticket agent to put us on the same flight.
Here's your ticket, sir. Flight 724 to Israel, leaving in an hour from gate 74.
Thanks. Thank you for your excellent service.
My pleasure. Have a great flight.
Now it's our turn, Felix. We've got to get tickets without David seeing us.
Hi, where do you want to fly?
Where is the man with the yarmulke going?
Felix, keep quiet. My friend means we like 2 tickets to Israel.
What about me? Don't I need a ticket?
No problem, sir. There are a few seats left on the next flight to Israel, but pets are not allowed on the aircraft.
Pets? You mean fishy? He's not a pet. He's a fish. I'm not leaving him here. He's my best friend.
That's a pretty fishy thing to say.
I'm sorry about your feelings for your fish. The live creatures that are not human may not get on the flight.
Just a minute. I could take sushi, and that's made of fish with me on the plane, right?
I guess so.
Great. Sushi is not cooked, and neither is fishy.
I'm sure glad I'm still raw and not boiling in a pot.
Felix, you fool. Fishy isn't sushi. Sushi is food.
Well, some people love sushi, and I love fishy.
No airline is going to believe that.
Tough. I'm not letting them touch my fishy.
No one has to touch him. I've got an idea of how to get him on the plane.
We're gonna put him in a jar of filter fish. Robert, you're a genius. We'll tell the crew on the plane that this is an authentic Jewish food.
Hey, don't do any animal testing on me. And they didn't even put horseradish in my jar.
Thanks for finding such a creative solution for my fish. I'm sure he'll enjoy meeting the gefilte fish balls.
Glad to help, my friend.
Now before we board the plane, let's buy some new clothing so David won't recognize us. 14 hours, 7,424.19 miles. An airplane circles the beaches of Tel Aviv.
This is your captain speaking. In 5 minutes, we'll be landing in Ben Gurion Airport. Please fasten your seatbelts and straighten your seat backs.
So, Robert, how are we going to get David?
With this electric shocker. And when he loses consciousness, we'll tie him up. Then we'll call the Iranian to get more instructions.
A shocker? Wow, you really think of everything. Ooh, can I use it? I never use it, and I'd like Fishy to learn to be an electrician.
Are you crazy? Don't you know that water and electricity are a recipe for disaster?
No problem. You can electrocute David, but remember, the Iranian needs his brain to work, so be careful not to shock him on the head. It can cause brain damage.
How I missed our beautiful land. I've come back to my real home. While I'm staying here, I'll do what I can to show who Robert really is. And when he gets back, I'll be able to go back to the United States.
Felix, we'll follow him to the parking lot, and when there are no more security guards, we'll attack.
What a shock he'll get when he feels the shocker.
Get me out of here! I can't see anything!
5 minutes later, at the airport parking lot. Now is the time for action, Felix. Don't mess it up. It's now or never.
Don't worry, Robert. You can count on me.
Approach him carefully and then put the shocker on his body. When he falls, we'll grab him.
Okay, Robert. Whatever you say, Robert. Oh! You told me to put the shocker to his head, right?
I said not his head. What have you done?
Oh no! Look, someone's fainted.
Someone call for help, quick.
Poor guy. Is this the ambulance service? There is someone here who lost consciousness.
This is no good, Felix. Because of your stupidity, we can't kidnap David. Look how many people are around him.
I'm really sorry. I was so excited I forgot your instructions. But look, his backpack is on the floor. Do you want me to steal it?
For sure. We'll take his stuff and then tell the doctors that we're his friends and we'll take care of him. And when the emergency medical team leaves, we'll kidnap him.
Does anybody know what happened? The man was walking behind me and suddenly he collapsed. He's not responding. We'll have to get him to a hospital right now.
What did you say? Take him to the hospital? Absolutely not. I think you should let him recover by himself.
I don't agree. He is unconscious and needs to be examined. You're making too big a deal. After all, he just got, electrocuted.
Quiet, Felix. Don't you see he'll get us in trouble?
Hey, can anyone hear me? Don't believe them! Yesterday they tried to run poor David over!
We're friends of the sick man. I promise we'll take care of him.
I'm very sorry, but I can't leave him here. If you want, you can join us in the ambulance and come to the hospital. No, not the hospital. They'll ask us all sorts of questions, and we won't know the answers. Like how old David is, and is he allergic to anything? I thought you said you were his friends. Friends. There are limits to friendship. With friends like these, who needs enemies? I hope he'll recover soon. You can visit him in the emergency room.
It's all your fault, Felix. If you'd listened to my instructions, this would never have happened.
Bad luck. We almost made it, and then poof, everything fell apart. And now look, we're stuck here in a strange land without David.
Believe me, Felix, that's the least of our worries. The big problem is the Iranian. When he hears we've messed up again, he's going to grind us up like a filter fish.
Hey you! Don't insult the filter fish. It's good!
2:20 p.m. Tuesday, early afternoon in Savta Azulai's house.
Hey, tra-la-la Taryag, you're just in time. I just finished a batch of my famous cookies. You'll be the first to make a bracha and taste them.
Thanks for inviting us on your baking day, Savta Azulai. When you bake, the entire neighborhood smells of chocolate and jelly. Yum.
God is right. I smelled them this morning and could hardly wait for school to end.
I must say, the cookies look delicious, but we won't be able to eat all of them.
Reuven, you're right. You'll get a stomachache if you try eating all of them.
So why did you bake so many?
My friend Sippy broke her leg and is in the hospital. She should have a refuah shalema. I wanted to cheer her up and the other patients too with some warm and delicious cookies.
Oh, poor Zippy. She's probably in lots of pain.
I don't get it. Why does she need a hospital for a broken leg?
Why didn't they just put a cast on her leg and that's it?
Of course they put a cast on. A cast and crutches and even a wheelchair. But she's not young and her bones are weak. So she had to have an operation and now she's recovering in a rehab hospital.
Rehab hospital? What's that?
It's a hospital for patients who need long-term care and rehabilitation. That's why it's called rehab. While they are recovering, they get all kinds of therapies to help them get back to a normal life.
It's good you told us, Safta. We'll put her name on our list to daven for.
Good for you. Davening works better than anything, and it's the best medicine. But now I need something from you boys.
I'll do anything in exchange for more cookies.
Oh, come on, Yisrael. We want to help Safta Azulai without getting cookies, no matter how delicious they are.
Of course, Reuven. I was just kidding. It was a tasteless joke.
This is what Sippy told me on the phone. Yesterday, they brought someone to the rehab hospital. The poor man is totally depressed, and no one knows his name.
I don't get it. Why don't they just ask him?
They can't. The poor man got hurt in a bad fall, and his memory is wiped out.
Oh no, he must have gotten a head injury that damaged his memory. Poor guy, he must feel all alone and lost.
It's so terrible not to remember who you are, where you're from, and where you're going.
Let's try to help him.
Maybe we should visit him.
Taryag, you're tzaddikim. I'm touched by your kind hearts. That's exactly what I was going to ask you to do, to come with me and do the mitzvah of bikur cholim, of visiting the sick.
And I promised Bli Neder not to eat them all up, at least until we got to the rehab hospital.
I'll be responsible for the cookies.
Hashem should bless you all with his brachos.
So let's go, Taryag. Operation Bikur Cholim is on its way. Here you are, sir. Warm cookies straight from Safta Azulai's oven.
Enjoy and feel better.
The cookies passed my taste test, and I'm sure anyone who eats them will get better right away.
Refuah Shalema, here's a chance to make a bracha.
Thanks. My name is Oines.
That's it, Safta Azulai. All the cookies got to where they have to be.
I'm so happy. I hope the patients got to taste them.
Of course, they really enjoyed them.
And they said the hands that baked them should be blessed.
Kol hakavod, Taryag, for helping out so much. Now I'm going to visit Sippy. Why don't you go to the poor Jew who forgot where his memory is?
But how will we know where this poor man is?
Hey, can I help you boys? Who are you looking for?
We've come to visit.
Actually, we don't really know who.
You probably mean the anonymous patient who was brought here, right?
For sure. Safta Azulai said he's all alone and needs encouragement.
Can you tell us how he's doing?
The medical condition of our patient is confidential. The one thing I tell you is that it's very important for him to talk to people.
Why is it so important?
As far as we understand, he got a terrible blow to his head, and as a result, he lost his memory. But the brain is an amazing organ that can repair itself. We are hoping that something or someone will wake up his sleeping memory. Here is his room. You can go in, but be sensitive to his condition.
You can count on us. If we see he's not interested in a visit, we'll just say goodbye and go home. We'll talk about happy things with him.
And maybe that will help him remember something.
Thanks, boys. I hope your visit will help him.
Amen.
Hello. How are you doing?
We've come to visit you.
Shalom, boys. I am sorry that I don't remember anything, but do I know you?
No, but from now on, we know each other.
Reuven is right. All Jews are brothers, and we're happy to meet you.
I'm glad to meet you too. What are your names?
I'm Gadi.
And I'm Yisrael.
I'm Reuven.
And I'm Tanchum.
And together, we are the Taryag Kids.
Taryag is a great name, like the Taryag mitzvos.
That's true, but we call ourselves Taryag for a different reason. The first initials of our names spell Taryag.
That's nice, and even nicer is how good you're making me feel. Please sit down and tell me what you're learning in class.
Today we learned the Navi in Parak 20 of Sefer Malachim.
We learned how the Navi Yeshaya visited King Chizkiyahu when he was sick.
A half hour later. Thanks for cheering me up, Taryag Kids.
The pleasure was ours.
Be'ezus Hashem will come to visit you again tomorrow.
That will be great. I'm already waiting for you. See you soon.
Try to rest and relax.
Bye.
Great meeting you.
Hey kids, watch where you're going.
Hey, look at me! I'm a flying fish!
Kiddo, don't you have eyes? Why do you bump into people?
I didn't bump into you. You bumped into me.
Relax, Yisrael. He doesn't look like someone you should be fighting with.
So let him not talk like I did something wrong. It was his fault. He ran ahead without looking.
Children, calm down. I apologize from the bottom of my heart that we bumped into you. It was an accident. Just ignore my angry assistant.
What do you mean, ignore me? I'll show them.
Felix didn't notice that the bottle he'd stuck me in fell out of his backpack and onto the sidewalk.
We're also sorry, sir. We'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Fine, but since we already met, maybe you can help us. Do you know which room the man who lost his memory is in?
Why do you ask?
We heard about the sad story and want to visit him.
Yeah, like it says, love your friend like you love me.
I think you mean love your friend like you love yourself.
Do you know him?
Sure, we're friends from long ago.
Great, so you'll be able to help him remember who he is.
Don't worry, kids. He won't be lonely for long.
Thanks, boys, for all your help.
Hey, what's that on the floor? Wait a minute. You left a bottle of fish. And that reminds me, I'm starving.
Oh, come on, Yisrael. Don't tell me you're hungry for your filter fish.
Sure, it's my favorite fish.
No! I don't want to be lunch!
Help! The gefilte fish is moving.
I'm not sure which is worse. That someone is about to eat me up, or that he thinks I'm a gefilte fish!
Hey, you! Don't you dare touch my fish!
That's your fish? So why did you leave it in such a small jar? Haven't you ever heard of Tzar Balei Chayim?
That's not your business where fishy swims. Goodbye and good luck.
What an unpleasant person.
You're right, Reuven. And he's more than unpleasant. I think he's suspicious.
Did you hear that whistle? Where's it coming from?
It's my sonar, Gadi. While we were talking to these guys, who claimed to be the sick man's friends, the sonar started to vibrate and show a red alert.
Until we find out, we have to follow the rule. Respect him and suspect him.
I think we should suspect him and suspect him again. The way they behave, I don't believe they are friends of the sick man. They are bullies, and the sick man is such a nice Jew.
Hey, look, there's an American passport on the floor. It must have fallen out of their backpack. I don't believe it. This isn't their passport at all. It belongs to the man we just visited. Taryag, from what it says here, it seems that his name is David Rabinovich.
And that brings me to the next question. What's poor David's passport doing in their backpack? This proves that something is suspicious and that something very bad is going on. We have to go back and warn the hospital staff about them.
Hashem, help us. Maybe they want to harm David.
Sorry to interrupt, Doctor, but two very suspicious men came in a minute ago.
They claimed they're friends of the man we visited and tried to get medical information about him from us.
And then we found out that they have the passport of the man who lost his memory.
Please, you've got to stop them.
It's certainly suspicious. I'm glad you told me. I'll make sure they don't get into his room. Excuse me, visiting hours are over. You may not enter the patient's room now.
So why can they go in?
It's not your business. I am asking you to leave right now or I will have to call security.
Leave it alone, Felix. Let's get out of here. I don't want to have anything to do with security officers who might ask too many questions.
Okay, but I'll get even with those kids.
Hello again.
We came back faster than you thought we would, right?
Taryag, did you miss me already?
The truth is, yes, David. We missed you and we're worried about you.
What did you say? What did you call me?
I called you David.
David! Yes, that's right. My name is David.
Good for you, David.
You finally remembered something.
Great news.
Yes. It's a great breakthrough, David. I think we should update the doctor.
David, are you right? Reuven claims that your memory has come back.
Partly, Doctor. Because of these Sadiqim, I remember my name, but everything else is still a blank.
I'm sure we're just getting started. As Ras Hashem, your memory will slowly come back.
While I'm examining David, can you boys tell me how you found out his name?
We found a passport outside the hospital.
We opened it and saw David's picture.
And then we checked the information on the passport.
And now, it's my pleasure to do the mitzvah of Hashavas Aveda, of returning something that's lost, and give you your passport back.
This is an American passport, so I must be an American citizen. But who am I? What did I used to do in the past? I can't remember a thing.
Ivy, David, why are you crying? Did something happen? Do you feel sick?
I feel okay, Gadi. I'm crying with relief that I finally know my name. But I'm also crying because I'm frustrated. It's very hard for a person with no identity, without a past, and without a family.
Until you recover and find your family, we'll be your family, David. We won't leave you, and we'll visit you until your memory comes back.
The hospital will call the American consulate about you. It will take a few days, but maybe they can help. In the meantime, rest and get your strength back.
Psst, Robert, look at what I see through this window. Unbelievable. David has his passport. He knows his name.
That's terrible, Felix. If he starts to remember, he may remember that you caused him to lose his memory.
Why me? We're in this together. I won't go to jail all by myself.
If you do what I say, nobody's going to jail. Here's the plan. We're going to wait here, and the minute we have a chance, we'll kidnap David and bring him to the Iranian. Then he won't be able to accuse us of anything.
But it could take a long time before we get the chance.
Going to jail will take more time. In the meantime, we have to watch every step he takes. You start.
That's not fair. Why does Fishy and I have to go to work while you rest?
I'm so tired. I feel like a dried piece of herring.
I'm not resting, I'm just not working. Now go to your position and watch him. In the meantime, in David's room.
My poor brain, I keep seeing tiny bits and pieces of memories, but I can't capture them. I get flashes of images from my past, but I don't know who those people are and what they are up to.
Don't worry, David. Slowly the mess will be cleared up and you'll see the full picture.
You have to be patient. The doctor explained that the process of getting your memory back is a slow one.
Hey Taryag, look what I just found in the passport. It's a picture. Maybe it will jog David's memory.
I don't think this ripped picture is going to solve our problem. It's just a picture of an American soldier with a whale in the background.
Gadi, by the look of the fins, I think it's not a whale. It's a dolphin.
The soldier's face. It looks familiar.
What do you say, David? Do you know him?
Of course I know him. It's me.
That's why the face looked familiar. It's you without the bandages on your head.
Do you know where the picture was taken?
From the scenery in the background, I'm certain the picture was taken in the Eilat Mountains, and my memory is coming back a little. That's Dodo behind me.
Dodo?
Who's Dodo? A friend of yours? Because if you're talking about the dolphin, I must say I never heard of a dolphin named Dodo.
Taryag, Dodo is not just any dolphin. He's an Israeli dolphin. I met him a little while ago, and we became best friends right away, and spent many hours together in the sea.
Wait a minute, David. You're an American citizen? So how did you meet this Israeli dolphin? And when was this picture taken?
Good questions, Tanchum. I think that I trained him.
Trained him? Are you telling us that you're an animal trainer?
I don't remember, but I think my specialty is training dolphins.
Look here, Taryag. In the picture, David is wearing the uniform of the American Navy.
Maybe you're a soldier or an officer in the American Navy.
But if he's a soldier, why is he in the picture with a dolphin? Soldiers are supposed to be equipped with weapons, not fish.
Unless the dolphin is the weapon. Do you remember when I showed you the sonar I invented? I told you that bats and dolphins both have natural sonar. And dolphins can help soldiers find mines that are planted in the water by using their natural sonar.
That's right, Reuven. But I can't remember what my connection is with all of this. How I wish the fog in my brain would disappear, and I would have answers to all of the questions.
Guys, I have a great idea. Let's go to the Navy base in the south and look for answers to David's questions. What do you think, Taryag?
Good idea. And maybe the place will wake up some more memories.
But how will we find this Navy base?
I think I know the answer to your question, Reuven. The base is next to the Taba crossing.
Taba? Never heard of it.
Are you sure this place is in Israel?
Of course, Yisrael. Taba is a village on the Egyptian border. The Navy base must be on the Israeli side of the border.
The Israeli borders are not the real borders of Eretz Yisrael. According to halacha, I think the base is not part of Eretz Yisrael.
And because people living in Eretz Yisrael are not allowed by halacha to leave unless they have a very good reason, it looks like we can't go there.
But Tanchum, bringing David's memory back is a very big mitzvah. The question is, can David take such a long trip? The way he's feeling, can he wander around looking for something?
Excuse me, I couldn't help hearing what you're talking about. In my opinion, going to the sea may help David's memory come back. He can live for a few days while we wait to see what the American consulate says. Medical research shows that in many cases where someone lost his memory, when they take a relaxing vacation, their memories return.
So we'll go and speak to our parents, and if we get their permission, we'll leave tomorrow in Mr. Gagangin's van.
Hey, Robert, did you hear what I heard?
I'm not interested in what you heard. All I want to know is when these annoying kids leave David's room so we can go in and kidnap him.
That's your problem, Robert. If you'd only listen, you would know that about a half a minute ago, the doctor gave David permission to go to the sea so that his memory will come back.
Really? You're serious? And you heard all this by yourself?
That's right, but no help from you.
So when are they planning on leaving?
If we believe the boy with the red yarmulke, they're planning to leave tomorrow morning.
Feel good, David.
We'll let you know what our parents decide.
Take care of yourself.
See you soon, boys, and I thank you for all the care you have given me.
Finally, they're leaving.
The time has come.
Tanchum's house, 9:05 p.m. Tanchum, it's late. Why are you still awake?
I couldn't sleep. I'm so curious about what the Rav said.
I told the Rav what happened. He said that because it's for David's health, you're allowed to go to the Red Sea, even though it's not in Eretz Yisrael's borders.
Wow, that's great, Abba. I've got to tell Taryag the news.
I'm happy that you're happy, Tanchum. Now go to bed, and I'll arrange for Mr. Gagangin to drive you to the naval base on the Red Sea.
Taryag, do you read me? Pack your bags. We're leaving early tomorrow morning.
Wow, fantastic. I'm so happy for David.
Yes! Finally, the Taryag kids are off in another adventure.
Thanks for the update, Tanchum. I'm going to pack right now.
Gadi, you bring the mishnayos. Yisrael, you're in charge of the nash. Reuven, bring whatever you think we'll need for the trip. Good night, everybody.
Wednesday, 7:10 a.m. on a highway heading south.
Good morning, Taryag. And good morning also, David. What can I say? I've been driving for 30 years, and I never went on such a long trip with such short notice.
Gangin, I'm sorry we got in touch so late. We didn't want to waste time, because it's a matter of David's health.
Nothing to be sorry about. I love driving. It doesn't matter what time or what day. And driving with the Taryag kids, nothing better than that.
I'm davening that this trip will be worth it, and I'll be able to fill in all of the blanks in my memory. The last thing I can remember is the day that I became a Baal Teshuvah.
Don't worry. Hashem's help can come in the blink of an eye. Super fast. And since we have a long trip in front of us, why not tell us how you became a Baal Teshuvah?
Whoa, it's a thriller of a story. It all started 25 years ago. I was young and carefree then. I knew I was a Jew, but I didn't have a clue of what that meant. What really interested me was going scuba diving with my friends. One day, the water is so clear, Steve, perfect for diving.
You're so right, David. It's a great chance for deep sea diving. Maybe we'll discover something new underwater.
Steve, wait for me. I'm coming.
Why'd it take you so long to suit up? Like always, we'll communicate with sign language. Now let's go! Whoa, it's like a rainbow of glittering colors.
Look at the sun's reflection in the water.
Whoa, what is this? Could it be a cave that no one else has ever seen? We've got to go in.
Unbelievable. The cave is breathtaking. Beautiful. The cave is bigger than I thought. I've got to reach the bottom.
But pay attention to how deep you are diving. We're almost 100 feet underwater. If we go deeper, we might get nitrogen narcosis.
After 40 minutes in the silent world of the sea.
Where's the entrance to the cave?
I think we came from this direction.
We've come to the wrong place. This exit is blocked. Help! How do we get out of here?
We'll be running out of oxygen soon. If we don't find a way out, that's the end for us.
We've only got 30 seconds of oxygen left. What should we do?
Prepare for a bitter end.
God, save us! Steve, you see that beam of light? Quick, that's the way out. Thank God we're out of the cave. Now we've got to get up to the surface. I don't know if we'll get up on time before the oxygen runs out.
My lungs are about to burst. Wow, David, that was a close call.
We almost died under there. It was terrifying.
David, what were you doing when you thought we were lost in the cave?
I think I was praying to the creator of the world, who I don't really know much about.
You're Jewish, so it must be the God of the Jews who saved us. How else can you explain how he found the entrance right after you prayed?
If Steve, who is not Jewish, understands this, how much more so should a Jew like me know that there is someone who created the world? With God's help, starting from today, I'm going to learn what it means to be a Jew. On that day, I started to learn about being Jewish, and I slowly learned Torah and began to do mitzvos.
Wow, what an exciting story.
That's what it means in Tehillim. From the depths I call to Hashem.
I was barely able to breathe when you told your story. I can't even imagine how terrified you must have been at the bottom of the sea.
David, you mentioned something called nitrogen narcosis. What does that mean?
If a diver goes too deep, over 100 feet, he can get nitrogen narcosis. Some drivers call it the martini law. A martini is an alcoholic drink.
What happens to the diver?
When a person's lungs gets too much nitrogen, the diver begins to feel like he's drunk. First, he hears a ringing in his ears. Then, he bursts out laughing and he gets dizzy. He also gets confused and he might dive even deeper and run out of oxygen.
I never realized diving could be so dangerous.
If you don't know what you're doing, it certainly is dangerous. That's why in most diving areas, you have to have special training.
For sure you had a miracle. And it's all because of that tefillah that you said from the bottom of your heart.
Robert, we've been driving for more than 3 hours. Are you sure we're driving in the right direction?
Absolutely sure, Felix. And I'll follow the van where David is sitting until we get to where he's going.
Have you figured out how to kidnap David when he gets to the Red Sea?
Of course. But I'm keeping it a secret so you don't spoil it, like you did with the electric shocker.
5 minutes later.
Kids, I'm happy to announce that we've come to the naval base in Taba. Hello? Can someone open the gate?
Hey, why are you honking like that? You'll wake up all the crocodiles in Egypt's Nile River.
Ha ha ha, soldier. I love your sense of humor, but this is no joke. We've traveled a long way to get here.
We'd appreciate if you would open the gate so we could come in.
I'm really sorry, but guests may not enter without authorization. Please, soldier, let me come in. I have this feeling I've been here before.
Please listen to him. You don't know what he's gone through. We've driven almost 4 hours so he can get to the sea. It's the only way he can get his memory back.
I'd love to help, but I just can't.
So what do you want us to do? Drive all the way back?
No, drive a few yards further and you'll get to a pier.
What's the point?
A tour boat is going out in 5 minutes, so hurry.
How will that help, David?
I am sure the fresh sea air will help jog his memory, and you'll have an unforgettable trip.
Guys, it looks like the soldier is right. We didn't get into the base, but let's at least enjoy ourselves a little.
If there's no choice, there's no choice. Gegangen, let's go to the boats.
Taryag, the sea we're going to is considered one of the most beautiful in the world.
In my opinion, Reuven, Oceans and seas are dangerous, and not only because you can become seasick.
The only danger will be if we happen to run into a crocodile from the days of the pharaohs.
At the same time at the pier.
It's good we got here before the kids. We've got to get ready for the kidnapping.
So tell me the plan. I'm tired of being the junior partner.
Welcome to my tour boat. Come aboard. We're leaving soon.
Who are you, and what's your job here?
What do you mean, who am I? I'm the captain of this tour boat, and I'm waiting for customers who want to sail.
Oh, Robert, can we go on the speedboat, please? Please? I've always wanted to show Fishy the place where he comes from.
You mean the place where I should be going back to?
So what have you decided? Do you want to sail? Haven't got all day to wait for you.
Sure, of course we're coming. What don't I do for a friend?
Yes, Fishy. Do you believe he agreed?
He agreed far too fast. Something smells fishy.
See what trip I've arranged for you, Fishy? Because of me, you'll be able to go underwater and see the schools of fish. Do you think we might see your family? Do they come from here?
I'd love to go to school. Anything to get away from you.
Robert, you forgot to tell the captain that the children are coming and that he shouldn't let them know we're here. You want me to tell him?
Don't you dare, Felix. You're going to ruin my brilliant scheme.
So maybe you should finally tell me what it is.
I knew Robert was up to something. Oh
no! Okay, I see I have no choice. I'll let you in on the plan. First, I'll count to 3, and then we jump on the captain and tie him up and control the boat. The children will come and we'll be ready for the kidnapping.
Great plan. Okay, Robert, start counting to 3.
1, 2.
Uh-oh, almost 3.
3!
Help! Let me go!
We've got him! Quick! Bring me a rope!
Where should I get a rope from, Robert?
From the fishnet behind you, you useless fool!
But you said you need a rope!
Fishnets are made of rope, so bring it already before he gets away! Good work. Now we go into the captain's cabin and wait for the children and David.
And what happens then?
In the middle of the cruise, we'll surprise them and we'll show those kids who is boss here.
It will be the surprise of the century.
5 minutes later at the pier. Here's the tour boat, but I don't see any tourists.
Maybe the boat isn't sailing today.
That doesn't make sense. The engine is running.
Welcome, dear tourists. Whoever wants to sail is invited to come aboard. We sail immediately.
Did you hear that, Taryag? Someone is speaking to us on the sound system.
It must be the captain. I wonder why he doesn't come out to greet us.
Maybe he's busy preparing the boat.
He's busy, and I'm busy, running onto the boat.
I can't believe they believe us.
I knew it would be easy to fool them. After all, they're just a bunch of little kids. They don't have a chance against 2 talented criminals like us.
Wait, we can't go on until we pay for the trip.
This is your lucky day, kids. Today, the trip is absolutely free.
Did you hear that, Tanchum? It's free. This adventure is getting better and better.
Come on, Gadi. What are you waiting for? Why don't you get on the boat?
I'm a little nervous about getting on. The boat is too quiet. It seems suspicious.
Gadi, it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Go with your friends, and you'll all enjoy the ride.
What do you mean, you'll all enjoy?
Wait a minute, Gigangan.
You're not coming with us?
Well, you see, I'd rather sit in a car with 4 wheels than a steering wheel. I don't want to rely on a soda can floating on the water.
Gigangan, it's not a can of soda. It's a state-of-the-art vessel.
I still would rather stay here. I'm counting on you, David, to keep an eye on Taryag. We'll meet here on the pier in an hour.
Bye, Gigangan. I hope by the time we get back, I'll have my memory again.
Nothing like the smell of the sea and the pull of the waves.
And the scenery. It makes you feel so good, so relaxed.
Only the wind is a little strong. David, are you okay? Is the wind bothering you?
The opposite. The breeze is so refreshing. I really feel that I'm getting stronger.
That's what they say. The ocean is the great healer.
Yisrael, the saying is, time is a great healer. You messed it up.
Time, oceans, who cares? The main thing is feeling healthy.
You're right about that.
15 minutes after they've begun their voyage.
Guys, I think this boat jumping on the waves is making me feel awful. I'm dizzy and I'm feeling very nauseous.
Reuven, you do look terrible. You must be seasick. Would you like to go up to the cabin where you can wash your face and freshen up?
Good idea. Thanks for coming with me, Tanchum. Sorry to bother you.
No bother. I just hope you'll feel better soon so you don't miss out on the fun.
Meanwhile, on the boat.
We've been sailing for 15 minutes and nothing's happened.
How can you say that, Yisrael? The sea is the most fascinating thing in the world. Believe me, if we were diving down, you'd be amazed to discover the beautiful, quiet, and exciting world hiding down below.
But we don't have diving equipment, so we're stuck just seeing water, water, and more water.
Let's hope some dolphins come to say hi.
How do the dolphins know that they can come and say hello? Is there some announcer underwater who tells them a boat is passing?
Actually, Gadi, the dolphins identify the boat using the natural sonar that Hashem gave them. And because dolphins are friendly and curious, they often come up to see who is visiting them.
Really? Great! I'm going to call them. Hey dolphins, where are you? I'd love to meet you.
Yisrael, with those yells, even Dodo the dolphin and David's picture will be coming along to wave at you with his fins.
I've been meaning to ask you, Yisrael, where did you find my passport?
It was on the sidewalk at the entrance to the hospital. It must have fallen out of Mr. Gefilte Fish's backpack.
Mr. Gefilte Fish? I don't think I know anyone who goes by that name.
David, Mr. Gefilte Fish is just the name Yisrael gave to an American that we met because he and his friends stuck their goldfish into a glass Gefilte Fish jar.
And what did these Americans look like?
One was tall and muscular, other was short and chubby.
Tall and muscular? Short and chubby? Ah, that sounds familiar. Oh, my aching head. I'm seeing images of things that happened to me in the last few days.
How are you doing, David, my friend? At first, I didn't recognize you. You've changed since we were kids together. Want to sit down and share some great childhood memories? This is the end of you, Jew!
Psst, Gadi, look at David. Something bad is happening to him. Should we offer him a drink?
Leave him, Yisrael. I think his memory is coming back, and it seems that they are bad memories. Give him a little time to recover.
I remember! It's them! Those men must be Robert and Felix! Yisrael, Gadi, I think I know who Mr. Gefilte Fish is and why I came to Eretz Yisrael.
No? Tell us, David. Don't keep us in suspense.
As much as I remember, I boarded a plane from America to Eretz Yisrael after those two guys tried to kill me. They must have managed to follow me onto the flight. When we landed, they used an electric shocker device on my head. That's when I lost my memory.
And for your information, it was me who used the shocker on you.
David, you remembered that very well.
I'm an eyewitness. Everything he said is correct, and I'm ready to file a police complaint against these two.
Hey, it's them. Those two bullies we met outside the hospital.
Hashem Yishmor! They followed us!
Robert? Felix? What are you doing here?
We just happened to be passing.
I don't believe you. Nothing just happened to happen.
Keep your feelings to yourself, kid.
Don't listen to Felix. It's always good to share your feelings.
Robert, what do you want from me? What have I ever done to you that you want to hurt me?
You haven't done anything. That's the problem.
You big bullies. Since when is it wrong not to do something?
Calm down, Yisrael. Don't make them angry.
I'll be happy to answer all your questions. But first, I have to make sure you don't escape. Felix, tie up David and the children. I don't want them disturbing us on our trip to Egypt.
Egypt? What are you looking for in Egypt?
We're not looking for anything there. That's where the Iranian told us to bring you.
David, they've been waiting for you and for what you know for far too long.
Iranians? Oh no, things are getting worse by the minute.
You know, David, if you had only told us how you trained dolphins, things would have been much simpler.
But you chose to close your mouth like a fish, and this is your punishment.
Believe me, everything would have been better if only you two had closed your mouths like fish.
You left us no choice. We have to kidnap you and bring you to the Iranian.
And now that you're all tied up, we can tell the Iranian that we've brought him a gift-wrapped present.
That's not very funny, Felix. And I'm glad that my suspicions were correct, and that from the minute you got to the naval base, I didn't let you find out any secrets.
My hair is standing on end when I think what would have happened if they'd heard all your secrets and given them to criminals.
But look at us now. We're in the middle of the sea, kidnapped, with our hands tied, and the Iranians waiting for us.
You're a traitor, Robert. You should be ashamed of yourself.
How dare you work with our sworn enemies just for money?
Put a gag on his mouth, Felix. He's disturbing me.
Now, or should I wait for him to finish his sentence?
Now! I don't want to hear him.
Okay, no pressure. If it's so important to you, why don't you put a gag on him yourself?
You think you're such big heroes that you had to gag David? Well, I also know how to ask questions. So answer me. If you have a problem with David, what does that have to do with us?
Nothing, and we didn't want to kidnap you, but you've heard far too much. We'll let the Iranians decide what to do with you, and you haven't given us a choice. Now we have to gag you too.
Oops!
Oy vey, we're really in a mess.
I hope Tanchum and Reuven will realize what's happening and find a way to rescue us.
That's it, Robert. I did a great job. David and the two boys are tied up and gagged. No way they can run away or call for help.
1 minute, Felix. If I'm not making a mistake, there were 4 boys coming onto the boat, and I'm only seeing 2. Where did the others disappear to?
Don't look at me. You know that I don't know arithmetic.
So take the gag off the boy who is the calmest and ask him.
You heard the question, kid, so answer it.
6 of us keep to the pier, the drivers stayed on the beach, and David, Yisrael, and I are tied up.
6 minus a beach and another driver, divided by David. Yikes, I can't figure out the answer.
The only thing you have to know is that there are only 2 boys on the boat.
And what happened to the other 2?
Actually, my friends are sensitive. They get seasick.
It's good they're not on deck. That's all that I need. 2 sick kids.
So everything is okay. You're all tied up, and we'll tell the Iranians that we brought them a surprise. 1 + 2 as an extra present.
In the meantime, in the boat's cabin, Reuven is trying to recover from his bout of seasickness.
Reuven, how are you feeling?
Baruch Hashem, much better. I think I'm ready to go back to the deck.
Are you sure? Maybe take another cup of water.
No, I don't want to waste more time. David, Gadi, and Yisrael are probably wondering where we disappeared to.
Hey Reuven, what's buzzing in your pocket?
It's my sonar. It's vibrating. Oh no! Tanchum, look at this graph. It's going wild.
Someone on deck must be under terrible stress. I hope our friends aren't in trouble.
We'll only find out if we check. Climb up here, Tanchum, and we'll try to see what's going on through the window.
But be careful. If there's something bad going on down there, we don't want them to see us.
I don't believe it. Those 2 bullies we met in the entrance to the hospital are on the deck. What could they be doing here?
Look, Yisrael, David, and Gadi. They've tied them up.
We have to find something sharp so we can cut through the ropes.
Maybe that box in the corner is a rescue and first aid kit.
I hope we don't just find fish nets and fishing hooks.
Hey, are there oxygen tanks in here?
This box holds diving equipment. I see rubber diving suits, oxygen tanks, goggles, and snorkels.
I don't think this will help us against those 2 bullies who've captured our friends.
Actually, I have an idea.
What is it?
Let's use this diving equipment to escape from the boat and get help.
Interesting idea, Reuven, but it could be dangerous. We can't just jump into the water not knowing if this is a safe place to dive. I don't want to find myself in front of a bunch of sharks.
Don't worry, this area is considered very safe. Many people come here to dive. Let me show you something amazing. Do you see a large dark circle in the middle of the water? That's called the blue hole.
Blue hole? How can you have a hole in the middle of the water?
Huh? It's not a real hole, Tanchum. It's an area that goes down very deep. That's why the water is so dark. It's a famous diving site. Divers from all over the world come to see the gorgeous coral that grows there.
At the same time, on the boat's deck.
Finally, we're out of Israel's territory. Now we have to sail to the meeting point in Egypt, where our Iranian friends are waiting for David with open arms.
And then they will pay us and we'll be rich. And I can buy a solid gold aquarium for you, fishy.
Before you move me out of here, why not get me something to eat? I'm so hungry I could eat a sardine.
Robert and Felix, you're very sure of yourselves and your plans, but we know that your plans will fail.
What did you say, boy?
He said that you're an arrogant big shot, and just because you think you're going to win, well, you're not. HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world, and he decides what's going to happen.
Felix, put that gag back in place. Kid, you don't know who you're dealing with.
Right, you're dealing with Robert. And if you're dealing with Robert, he's dealing with me. We're in charge here.
3 minutes later in the cabin.
The oxygen tanks are almost full. We're ready to go.
These diving suits fit us perfectly, and they'll protect us from the freezing water. Reuven, we have to sneak out of the boat very quietly.
Any little noise might alert those two criminals that something is happening in the cabin.
We'll have to get to the boat's railing and jump in.
For sure. But remember, Tanchum, you don't jump into the water the way you jump into a pool. You fall in backwards. And you remember, the only way we can communicate in the water is with sign language.
Of course. Our mouth is attached to the oxygen mask. Diving can be dangerous, but messengers doing a mitzvah are not harm. We should remember that. We're messengers working to save lives. Our friends are in danger. With Hashem's help, we'll rescue them.
In the name of Hashem, we will do what we need to do, and we'll succeed. I'm ready to dive.
Hey, what was that? Did you hear some noise in the water, Felix?
Robert, you must have sunstroke. We're in the water. Of course you'll hear noise.
Once in a while, you say something that makes sense, Felix.
Only once in a while.
I've never in my life saw such a big and colorful coral. How great are your works, Hashem. Too bad Yisrael and Gadi aren't here. They would enjoy it.
Wow, what gorgeous sights. A miraculous world that we don't even know about exists under the water.
Strange. Those two black fish are swimming against the current.
Tanchum, I'm sorry, we don't have time to enjoy the gorgeous stuff we're seeing. We've got to find other divers. Who knows what those criminals are doing to David, Gadi, and Yisrael?
You're right, but I don't see a single diver. Just fish and coral reefs, lots and lots of water.
Let's split up. I'll swim to the right, you swim to the left. We'll meet again here in 10 minutes.
And if we don't find any divers?
We'll have to swim back to the surface and look for a boat in the area. But Tanchum, remember, the oxygen in our tanks won't last too long.
Okay, in 15 minutes we swim back up.
After 12 minutes of searching.
I didn't see anyone.
Me neither. Let's keep looking.
We can't. The oxygen tanks are almost empty.
Start swimming to the surface right now. I'll be with you. One more try and I'll go up.
Tanchum, don't waste time. I'll meet you at the top.
You won't have to wait long. I've got to find at least one diver who can help rescue Yisrael, Gadi, and David.
3 minutes later.
It's so great to breathe fresh air. Where's Tanchum? Why hasn't he come out of the water?
Oh no! The sign is warning against that nitrogen narcosis that David told us about. I have to make sure Tanchum didn't dive too far down.
I don't see Tanchum. Where can he be? Oh no, there he is, all the way down. He's gone too deep. What should I do? If I go down to him, I'll be in danger myself. Who will rescue us?
It's so pretty here, but why are my fingers trembling? And why do I hear ringing in my ears? And why is everything getting so blurry? Ugh.
Oh no! Tanchum is unconscious. He may drown. And if that's not enough, a giant fish is swimming towards him. Hashem, rescue Tanchum! What's this? It's not just a big fish, it's a dolphin. And he's taking Tanchum up to the surface. Good job, dolphin. You're a champ. Thank you for saving my friend.
Reuven, what happened? Why am I lying here on a dolphin?
You dived too deep and got that nitrogen narcosis that David talked about. The dolphin saved you.
Really? Wow. Thank you, dear dolphin. You were sent to me like an angel from heaven. Only you came from the ocean.
Hey, I recognize that voice. That's Dodo, the dolphin that I trained here in Israel. What's he doing here? I need to get his attention, but how with this gag in my mouth? I'll pretend I'm fainting, then they'll have to untie the gag.
Man in distress! Man I'm in distress. Call out
Oh
someone.
no, David looks terrible. What happened to him?
Hey, Robert, Felix, David's fainted. Take off the gag, quick.
So let him breathe through his nose.
That won't help. He needs a clear airway.
Robert, I don't think the Iranians will like it if we bring David to them half dead. Maybe you should listen to the kid and take the gag out.
All right, take it off.
So David, now you can breathe as much as you want. But why are you breathing in like that? Hey!
Ouch! My ears are ringing.
David, why did you whistle?
The real question is, who am I whistling to? Look closely at the water and see who's coming to visit.
It's a dolphin! A cute dolphin that's smiling at us.
1 minute, David. Is that Dodo the dolphin in the picture?
Absolutely, it's him. And because he's been well trained, you can see some tricks that I taught him. Good work, Dodo. Keep hitting the boat with all your might.
Hey, Felix, did you notice that we're changing directions? How is that happening?
I don't know. Maybe the ship's wheel is stuck.
The wheel isn't moving. Something is making it stick.
Huh? Not something. Someone.
It's Dodo the dolphin.
Look, boys. Dodo is pushing the boat towards Israel's territorial waters, just like I trained him to do.
Dodo the dolphin?
I've got competition here.
Hey, Robert, I figured out the problem. There's some dolphin here who's trying to control our boat.
It must be a dolphin that David trained. He heard his whistle and came to help him.
Maybe yes and maybe no. What we know for sure is I found him.
When you finish congratulating yourself, shoot him!
Shoot the dolphin? You shoot him. I can't. I just can't hurt fish.
Don't you dare hurt him! He's a brother-in-law of my older brother who married into the salmon family.
I've got no problem hurting them, Felix, even though I like fish. Especially when they're fried and served with chips.
Fishy, cover your eyes.
Nice meeting you, Dolphin, but nobody starts up with Robert. Bye-bye. I won't see you again.
No, don't hurt him.
You awful, wicked man.
Run, Dodo! Run away!
Why did you shoot him?
Don't you have any mercy? What did Dodo do to you that you tried to kill him?
Your precious Dodo tried to destroy my only chance to be rich. He got exactly what he deserved. And now, on with my plan.
I hope that Dodo managed to get away and that he remembers what I taught him. I'll whistle to him to start the punching tail drill. Yahoo! Dodo the dolphin is alive, and he heard my whistle telling him to jump out of the water. Watch what is going to happen now, guys.
Sometimes you just gotta jump into the water.
The dolphin
What a
hit
smart
me.
dolphin.
Did you see him go?
Yes! Dodo punched the two bullies with his tail, and they are out cold.
Yisrael, Gadi, David, I'm glad that you are all okay thanks to Dodo.
Truth is, we're also okay just because of him.
Tanchum, Reuven, where have you been?
We went down deep into the water to try to get help.
And then we found David's good friend.
Dodo, you mischievous fish. It's good you remembered all the things I taught you.
Wow! Dodo the dolphin is really a shark.
Tanchum and Reuven, please cut the ropes and take the gag out of Yisrael's mouth.
I think this is the longest time that Yisrael's mouth stayed closed.
We're coming to help.
He was as quiet as a fish.
It's good to be able to move again.
Thank you, Hashem, for releasing prisoners.
Tanchum, we should tie Robert and Felix before they wake up. But first, there's someone else we have to set free.
What do you mean?
This poor little fish. Don't you think it's time to send him back to the ocean?
Yes, it's time. For sure it's time.
Let's go, fishy. Go and swim back to your real home.
See you again, little fish.
I hope you enjoy it down there.
Say hello to your fishy friends.
Watch out for dangerous fish nets.
Salmon family, tuna family, and all you trouts, roll out the red seashells. Here I come.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
You are a great bunch of boys. Thanks for everything.
It was wonderful, Dodo. I'm proud of you.
Thank you for saving my life.
There's nobody like you. Woohoo!
You're the nicest fish we ever met.
Swim carefully.
Taryag, time to go back to the beach and hand these two criminals to the police. 1 week later, in the Taryag Kids clubhouse. Hi everyone, welcome to our thank you party. We've come to thank Hashem for bringing my memory back and for miraculously saving us from the hands of those merciless criminals.
It was 2 miracles.
2 miracles? Why didn't you tell me? I would have prepared twice as much food.
It's fine, Safta. There's enough food here for the entire neighborhood.
It all began with the mitzvah of bikur cholim, and one mitzvah brings another. From the minute we met you, David, we had the most amazing and exciting adventures.
And as a sign of our thanks, we've gotten you a present. We fixed your ripped picture and framed it.
And we're keeping the original that we will hang on the wall of our clubhouse.
And so anytime we miss David or Dodo the dolphin, we can look at the picture and remember this adventure.
It's a wonderful present, boys, but I don't think you'll have to look at it if you miss me. You can simply come and visit.
You're staying here in Eretz Yisrael?
That's right, Taryag. After what happened, I realized that the place for me and my family is here in Eretz Yisrael. We're going to live in a great neighborhood with wonderful people and boys who are absolutely amazing. There's no one like them.
I know what neighborhood you're talking about.
Taryag's neighborhood!
We'll be friends and neighbors.
And now, let's eat.
David, I think I'm going to have to relax a bit to get ready for our next adventure. Any ideas of a good book to read?
Oh, there's actually a really exciting comic book I recently picked up that I think you guys will love. It's called The Taryag Kids and the Underwater Adventure. Here, it's right here in my bag.
Hey, that's us! And this book is this story. Wow, look at these amazing pictures. It's incredible.
It does look very exciting. If kids like listening to us, they're going to love seeing and following us in this ArtScroll comic book that you could pick up in any bookstore or at ArtScroll.com.
Look at Dodo. So cool. And David and the Iranian. He really does look menacing.
Yes. And I have to say, I love the way they drew my beard.
Can't wait to read this book and all the comics that ArtScroll will be printing from Taryag. I'm running to the store. See you later.
Children and parents alike are going to love the Taryag Kids, Israel's wildly popular comic, finally available in English at bookstores and at ArtScroll.com. Next in the Taryag Kids adventures, the Taryag Kids and the Disappearing Tower. There is danger in France. Can the Taryag Kids stop the terrorists as they fly through the sky over Paris? Stay tuned for the next book in this series, coming to ArtScroll.com and stores near you.